Hi, I'm going to explain about service REST of GET method. A lot of junior developers who are 2 to 3 years experience won't get a chance in project to create a service REST alone. So today I'm going to explain simple way to create a service REST of GET method without creating any INT integration classes. So let's begin. So coming to the requirement is um, we are having this course data type. So as we are giving it service, the connectors will expect the title description hours after sending the id as a request. Okay, so the id will be the request and we need to send the response based on the id. So let me show you. So this is the request which we are getting. So for this course id we need to send the response. If you see here, so for this course we are seeing engineering orientation, the description is something, and we need to send these to the external teams. Okay, so this is in json format. Okay, so we are getting this in the string. Okay, let me create a service rest. So create integration services and service rest. Yeah, so get, let me give you service name. You can give whatever your name which you are comfortable of. So get course details. So coming to the service package, let me give you any service package as of now and try to create. We may see a error at the end, but I will explain why the end error will be occurring. Okay, so here we can give v1, v2, v3, anything is fine, but I'm go with the v2 based on the requirement. We can choose, but I'm going with the v1. Okay, so v1 is on. Coming to the URI template. So URI template is something like it's expecting a param from the uh, connector. So let me give you the service name as it is, and let me give course ID. Okay, so here I can give course ID, course it's in caps, course ID as the param. So you can also build it URI. If you click on this one, so this is a literal and this is a variable. Variable is something like a property which is going to change for based on this course id. We need to fetch the details, right? It's going to change every for every request. So we, it's a variable and this is a constant. So for naming convention we kept this one. Okay, so we can also give another parameters as well, but for our requirement I'm just going with this course id. Okay, uh, Pega will automatically generate a identifier. So for each URI template, this identifier will be different. So I am using HR apps and this one will be fine. And let me create and open. We may see the error. Let me see. So yeah, so if you see here, the rule set HR apps 010102 is not applicable for the access group of API. What is this error? Okay, let me explore this one. Coming to this one, yeah, let me open API that is causing issue now. So let me open this one. So the issue here is, if you see here, it is using a access group of PRPC administrator, but our access group is something different. So it is showing for this rule set, this access group won't be applicable. So administrator operate access group won't have access to this rule set. That's why it's throwing an error. So we need to give a dedicated access group for that one. So for that one, I'm going to create a new service package. So course detail. Okay. Okay. Let me create and open. So let me give this access group ID. So I will give you a brief what are these options are. So what is this service package? Service package is nothing but the name itself says it will the package the service. Uh, for example, service rest, service soap, like it will have all associated things. Coming to this stateless and stateful. So what does it mean by stateless and stateful? So, what is it mean stateful? So, when a requester will come, the second requester will use the clipboard of the first requester. For example, we are having two requesters, right? So, one it will hit our service, and again one more requester will come, and if there is a chance of the second requester will use the clipboard of the first requester, then we need to go with stateful. Otherwise, we need to go with the stateless only. So most of the cases we will go with stateless only. And also Pega recommends defaultly to use stateless. So that is one thing. And what is the use of this service package? It will also you based on this access group, um, we can pick the rules. So it will also provide the access, and also based on the access group we can pick the rules based on the rule resolution. Something like service activity and service rest, all those things will be picked by this access group. So what does this mean by authentication? There are three type of authentications: basic, OAuth, and custom. I don't want to go in depth on this one. So let me have default options, and let me save and go to this one and try to give the newly created one. Okay. So course detail. So it's already been there. Let me create and open. And yeah, so so this is the URL. If you see from here, it's been there. Okay, so from it's a API, the this one course details, which is the service rest name. So and we have given version, and again we have given the endpoint URL, right? This is the one. So if you see, it is defaultly these values is been coming up. So course ID and the clipboard, and it will go into this param dot course ID. So the value which we are getting from the service rest, so we the course ID will go into map into this value. We can also change into property if you want, but I'm leaving as of now like this only. So by defaultly the resource is TGB HR apps and work. So by defaultly it will be stored in work class, but we need to get details from this class, right? So I'm giving this class. Okay. So yeah, now so in this video I'm not going to create any INT layer, because generally Pega recommends to create a INT layer over data layer. So, but I'm not going to create because I'm just creating a simple get rest. That's why I'm not creating any INT layer. Okay. So coming to methods. Now we are having methods tab, requester, and response. Now I have created. Now coming to these options. Okay, end requester when done. So this option will be enabled when the service package is stateful. So uh, if we click on this one, it will be end. It will not maintain the session, even though if it is the service package is stateful here. For example, this one. So even though if you are mentioned here stateful, if you give this option, the session won't be maintained, and this is completely enable service SLA with fallback activity. The service activity which we are going to give here, um, if it is taking more than 500 milliseconds, it will automatically uh, execute one um, fallback activity. Okay, so that's why we are using this option. So it's completely error handling purpose and lightweight clipboard mode. So if it is too much complex, the service is been taking so much time, then only use this option, otherwise leave this one. And method is read only. Don't worry about this one, it should be always unchecked. And execute synchronously. This one means when requester comes, it will execute service activity trigger, and it will send the response back. Okay, so I will explain later about this service monitoring. Okay, let me come to methods now. So as I said, we are going to use service get method na. So it's this one is mandatory because after getting id from external team, we need to do some code changes in our um, pega end, and we need to send the response, right? So that's why a activity need to be required. Automation is also something we can go, but mostly we can go with the activity only. Okay, most of the cases. So I have given the fallback activity option there, right? That's why it's been showing here. Let me uncheck here. Okay, so if you see it's gone. So let me, I have already been created one activity for time being purpose. So this is the activity. I'm just doing obj open. Let me create a parameter and will explain you. Okay, so what is the parameter? It's been there. So this is the course id. Okay, okay, it's id. So I will give, let me explain you. Okay, let me go here and again go to here and give the parameter. Yeah, okay, cool. So let me explain what exactly happening. Okay, so as a pega, so we will get this course id example assume this ENGZ001. After getting this one, it will go into methods, and whatever the external team will be triggering. For example, assume they are triggering get method, so it will trigger this one. And after triggering, if there are any query strings anyway, it will map. So as of now we are only resource path parameters. That's why we are, if you see, we can see the course id which is been mapped from there. And if you want, you can also add a few other parameters from query string. As of now in my case it's not been needed. Okay, so after triggering this one, then it will go into this service activity. and it will trigger this service activity. What I'm doing is, in this service activity, I'm just taking the parameters which is coming this course id. So the course id I am just doing obj open, and if you see in pages and classes I have given the same class only. uh, so in the class I have given this one, and by doing obj open, so all the details will be stored there. I will also show you by tracing also, that's not an issue. So after obj open, all the clipboard page of this entire row will be there in step page for courses. And after that, so I have created a dedicated property for JSON purpose. So for JSON, uh, so this is the response. Let me give brief idea about this one, what exactly happening before going through that one. Okay. Let me give description like response here, and give map to JSON, and also I will give parameter like, yeah, here if you see here. So this parameter I have given, this property I have given. If you open this property, so it's a single page property. Okay. So Pega recommends to use a single page or a page list property. So to save the JSON structure, okay. So we cannot able to create text property to save the JSON structure, okay. Pega won't allow. For example, if you try to uh, uh, let me save now. As of now, everything going good, and let me try to save now. So it's been saved. Let me try to give one any other property other than single page one. Okay, so it will be saved, but we won't get a response that I will show at the end. Okay, so what I'm doing is, so currently all the uh, row details will be there here, object details will be there here. After doing this department and all those things will be mapping to this rule. Okay, single page property. Okay, department. Okay, this is the basic thing, and I am doing page remove for this one. Pega recommends to remove pages which be created, right? So that's why I have deleted this one. Now let me run this service test and trace this activity. What exactly happening we will know. Okay, I have traced the activity, and let me run this by giving value of this ENG001, which is this one, this ID. So when I am sending that parameter, if you see it is a parameter of ID. So let me run execute now. So yeah, now we got the response. Okay, in the response, if you see, we get all the details which is shown here. So department description in JSON format, but we also see the PX obj class here. That's because we have kept in the method, we have kept use post processing, right? Whatever it is there in this, give me a second. So yeah. Yeah, whatever there in this response for get courses, it will be shown this one as well. So px obj class also will be shown. That is because we have used it that I use fast processing option. So if you don't want to this one, you can use other methods as a use JSON data transform or use some other method. So Pega defaultly convert the entire this page into JSON format. Okay, so that's why you can able to see here px obj class also. Okay, so that is one thing, and let me debug everything. So here obj open, in obj open, if you see, the entire details of this id is being present. So after that, if you see, before there is no property set. So in step uh, s- uh, in this step, in step 2, in this step 2 end, we can able to see response for get courses, which is the response which we are going to send there. So in this property, we are having this is a single page property, right? So it will hold multiple properties. It will convert into a JSON format, this entire response one. Okay. So now let me give other options. Okay. Let me try to give um, clipboard here. So by giving clipboard, by default, if you see, it will go into XML format. Okay, let me try once again. So the external system is Pega, then only go with clipboard. Otherwise, go with JSON or XML. That's the uh, recommended one. So that's one thing. Let me give clipboard and try to run once again. Okay, and check. Let me delete this one and run again. So if you it's been saved or not. Okay, let me run. Okay, let me rerun once again then. So if you see here, it's there in XML format. Okay, so by default, if we choose clipboard, now it will be there in XML one. Okay, and also the PX obj class and all those things will be there. Okay, so I recommend to use JSON or XML. Okay, other than this one, if you use JSON and try to give uh, uh, properties such as text type or something like that and try to run now, you may see the error. That's because, so yeah, if you see REST service failed or outbound data mapping failed. That's because JSON will expect format of a single page or page list property. So this ID is a text property, right? That's why it's been throwing an error. So let me again go with which is single page property. So if you see ours is single page property, let me save once again and uh, try to check in now. And I will also show how I can how I can trigger this service REST from external, from Postman. Okay. So assume Postman is a external service, external uh, party. So from Postman, if you trigger this service, I will show you. So I'm using this Pega Cloud to trigger. So I have directly logged in into Postman and created new instance. Let me copy paste the service which is been there here. Let me copy here. After doing copy, so ours is course id, directly we need to map, right? So directly I'm giving the id which is being mentioned here. Okay. Let me go. Yeah, so send now. So 401 unauthorized. That's because this request won't be authorized. That's because we have given in the service package, we have given basic authentication, right? Basic authentication is something like your operator and ID password should be mentioned there. So for that one, I am just going into authorization and I am giving basic auth, which is been mentioned here. Okay, basic auth and username and password. I have giving the cloud instance password. This is the operator ID which I have been using, so I am using the same one here. Okay, so don't get confused. So from this instance only I am doing everything I am showing. So you can give this operator ID and try to send now. So now you got the response which is mentioned here. So this response you got with the px obj class also. That's fine. Now I will show you how to debug this service rest. Um, how to debug means, as I said earlier, I will show you the service monitoring, right? So let me open this course details and I will explain about this service monitoring. So if you see, initially this won't be present. So while we are using this REST, here we are using this service package, right? So we can able to see the service REST here. And after seeing here, so service monitoring is as defined on service rule, and also we can also have chance it will be turned on for every services service rest and all things it will be triggered on. So I don't recommend to use this one for everything. Try to keep it as off and as defined on service rule. So based on your need, try to change it. Okay. So as of now, as defined on service rule, now go to your rule, and if you see here, service monitoring is off. So now check out this one and service monitoring and click on now and submit now and save. Okay. So what will happen now? The request which we are sometimes we don't trace, we don't know when the request is coming, what the response our service may be sent, and the external team will complain the response which from your side is not correct. We don't know what request it's been getting. So to debug all those things, so we cannot trace every time, right? So to debug those things, we have kept service monitoring is on, and here if you see, it's as depend on the service rule. Okay, based on the service rule, it's been on. So for this one, it's been on. Now save and so I have already been triggered twice. Let me clear this one and try to try to see. Okay. So it's been null and try to trigger now. Now I got the response. Let me check whether it's there in this the invocation is there here or not. Okay, let me refresh. After refresh, view invocation. Okay, it's still not there. Why? That's because our service rest is not in this mode, right? We need to check in here. So we have modified as service monitoring on, and we didn't check in, right? As external team, it will only pick the checkout things. So we need to check in here first and try once again. Okay, needed work in progress. So it's been checking. Now try to trigger once again. So now we got the response. And if you go to the service package and view invocation history, so now I got invocation ID. Okay, so that's because purely a human error. So I didn't check in the rule. So after checking in, I got the error. And also, if you see the status is 200, all those things when it's been received, IP address, all those things, the method which they have used, all the node ID which is been running, all those things will be there here. Now click on this ID once again. So after clicking on this ID, you may get a request and response. Okay, in the request you will get the query string which we have used here. Okay, so that's fine. And also there are some other basic things, what are the token and all those things, and you can ignore all those things. And coming to response, so for this request, what is the response now? So if you see the response which we have sent it here, yeah, so this is the response which we have sent it for this request. Like this way we can debug the things. Okay, clipboard state, I don't recommend to use clipboard state. So yeah, that's how you can debug. uh, That's it. If you have any queries, please post it in the comments. I will give you a reply back. Thank you.